Tulum is in the heart of the jungle of Mexico. So there's a lot of activities and adventures you can do out into the jungle. We got the chance to stay there for 72 hours. Now, where we chose to stay was in downtown. And around that area, there's lots of restaurants and bars, which meant it was very easy for us to get access to food. It was all just like a 2-3 minute walk away. But then at the same time, we're also quite near Super Aqui, which is a supermarket, which becomes very important when you realize that that's where most of the tours start from. So if you want to do any excursions or any tours, most of them are starting from Super Aqui. Now, I've been to Cancun before, and Cancun is known as a party place. Like, you know that there's a big strip there, you go there to party and have a wild time. Tulum strip was about 5 times as big as Cancun strip. That strip was absolutely huge. The first night we booked to go to a bar known as Rosa Negra, and we were driving for ages along the strip just to get there. It's massive. There are clubs, bars, restaurants, everything all the way along there. The vibe in Rosa Negra on that first night was absolutely insane. Crazy night. The food there was great because we went there for food and drinks mostly, but it was just like a club. People were dancing on tables. There was people singing. There was food. There was drinks going everywhere. It was all mad. What we really wanted to find was a hip hop and R&B night, and we knew that there was some hip hop and R&B clubs along the strip. But while we were there, we thought, why not actually find what's popular? And the quickest way for us to do that was by finding this page on Instagram known as Black in Tulum. And what that is they essentially host events, hip hop, R&B, Afrobeat, dancehall events. They host all of them in the Tulum area. So you just follow what they're doing, and then you can just go. You already know it's going to be a night that everyone's going to. So we ended up finding this one night, and let's just say that American parties are mad. The beach is the place for food in the daytime as well. So if you want to go for a day party vibe, or you just want food, the beach is the place to head down to, because that's where all the nice restaurants are anyway. It's the strip. The strip is where the beach is. One of the things about the beach though is that Cancun and Tulum, they have a really bad seaweed problem. So loads of seaweed gets washed up onto the shore, which means that the beach isn't as nice as you may think it would look. On our second day there, we went on a tour of the Riveira Maya Jungle. Now this is a tour that we booked through viatour.com. That's where we book about 90% of all the tours that we do in any location. Strongly recommend, if you've never used Viator, that's where you use. I'm not sponsored by them, I'm just recommending that because it would just make your life that much easier. Now this particular tour around the jungle, you get an ATV, and that is how you get around the jungle. So it's a quad bike, and it will take you, you drive all the way around this jungle type of terrain. One thing to note is make sure that you have a mask and glasses if you can, because dust goes into your eyes. I didn't have one, so I had to squint the whole time just to see how I was driving. It was a pain. I had dust all in my eyes by the end of it. And 2, make sure you look where you're going, because I had a little bit of an incident.
Sorry, that was my fault.
Once you've done your ATVing from point to point, they'll take you eventually to a zipline, and you're going to do the tallest zipline in South Mexico. So this zipline is about 100 feet climb up. You climb up this tower, and then when you're at the very top, you get to zipline all the way down. And this zipline takes about 3 minutes to get from end to end. You are there for a long time, a really long time. funny thing about this zipline is it's so long that you actually don't get to the end. You get about 3/4 of the way across, and then they have to send someone out with a rope to drag you along to the end, because it's just that long that you don't have enough momentum to keep going unless the wind will push you. Tulum is extremely well known for its cenotes. What these are underwater caves that have been filled with water. Essentially, there used to be land where the land has now collapsed in, the ceiling has collapsed in, and now it's just completely filled with water. There's dozens of them across the region. We got the chance to visit 2 while we were staying out there. So the very first one we got to visit was a semi-open one, which was more like a cave that you go inside and you're in the water, but it gets very, very dark inside there, and you can see bats flying around, and you can see rocks coming down from the ceilings, and you just get a tour around there, almost like being in space or something like that. The second one we visited was actually an open one. Now, an open cenote is really popular for diving. You see loads of people jumping off the side and diving in, because this one is completely open from the top, which means the sun can shine straight in, and it's just a giant pool at the bottom, and loads of people can just swim in it at once. The second cenote was actually not part of the Riveira Maya experience. It was actually part of a different tour that we went on our 3rd day, which was to experience the ancient Mayan culture. The main thing that we got to experience as part of that tour was visiting Chichen Itza. Now, Chichen Itza is one of the new 7 wonders of the world. It was built thousands of years ago by the ancient Mayans, and it is absolutely phenomenal to visit. If you're in Mexico, it's something you have to do, especially if you're staying near Tulum, Cancun region. You have to go and visit Chichen Itza, because the geometry behind this thing is absolutely insane. I've never seen anything like it. And the tour guides that whenever I've been, because I've been to the Chichen Itza tour twice now, the tour guides explain the geometry in so much detail that is absolutely mind-blowing. That tour could be super hot. So the day we went, it was about 34 degrees Celsius, 35 degrees Celsius, so it's very hot. So make sure you bring lots of water with you. Bring some food as well. We got a lunch included, but it's a long day. We only got home at about 8 p.m. after we left our house at like 8 a.m. So you need to make sure that you've got enough to keep you going. Another good experience you get from that is you get the chance to be blessed by a shaman. Now, these are some of the ancient Mayan communities, and they bring you into their cultural rituals and let you experience one of those. A lot of people don't tend to do this kind of stuff, but I always think when I'm going abroad, because I travel a lot, it's always cool to do the things that the local culture do, because I've never done these things before. So getting the chance to do what the local culture might do for me is just a different experience, which adds to my vacation. So it's something I'd recommend if it's what you're into. And as you know, I've been doing adventures all across the world now. I've documented all of them for this YouTube channel, and I'm sharing this content as I continue to go and continue to learn about new places. So if you like this video, make sure you leave a like and a comment, and also subscribe to the channel so that you can get any of the new videos that are coming out when they do. I'll catch you on the next video.